Hello guys, another day closer to the 2019 BBC, which is bloody exciting, but how about we talk about the 2014 BBC? So what a year this was. This was the year we welcomed Pedo, Rosie and Rolly into the BBC. So for the first time in our history we had a full field of 12, which was great. So we went back to central Queensland and we played Gladstone, Bits, Calliope and Bits again on the final day. It was a clean sweep for the newbies in terms of trophies. So Pedo took out the golf trophy off a handicap of 19. He had net scores of 68, 67, 64, 68. That was 19 under par. And that's a record versus par to this day. And I'd be surprised if that record's beaten, not unless we probably get back up to central Queensland, I reckon. Don't think 19 under par will get touched on I think Brisbane and the southeast Queensland courses. So Tonzo was runner-up. He was 10 shots behind Pedo, so not a bad defence of his title in its own right, but Pedo far too good. Rolly won the poker title. He won the poker title on debut, and like I said, completing a clean sweep. Rosie won the spoon. He was only 2 shots worse than J-Cat, who was second last in 2014. I remember that I tipped J-Cat in my fearless predictions to take out the spoon, and fucking didn't he let me down big time. I was paired. We were in the first group, in the same group, sorry, on round 1 at Gladstone. And J-Cat on the front 9 carded a 14 over 48. He was off a handicap of 10, so he was miles over his handicap by the turn. That 48 included a 9 on the 9th, courtesy of a lovely scull into the car park. Then he dropped one and flummed one in the pot and mucked around in there for a bit, and finally walked off with a 9. Promptly he got his car keys out of his golf bag, threw them to me. He goes, "Here you go, you're driving," and he just marched straight into the clubhouse and got a 6-pack of beer, and things were marginally better on the back 9 for him. He was a cranky cat, that's all I can say. 2014, there's only 1 moose in the whole tournament, and that honour went to Gnome on the 2nd at Calliope with a 10. Pedo, mate, he blitzed today. He got back on his home track at Calliope, won that day with a 64 net. So just mystifying what he's doing now of 22 and struggling with his game a little bit considering how well he played that year. But he celebrated that trophy well, and into the night at the Tannin Pub got a bit carried away. I think he got escorted out of the Tannin Pub. He got a bit loose, but that's what happens when you win your golf. You're allowed to fucking get loose. You can do whatever you like when you win. So a bit tricky. I'm trying to remember what else happened here, but I'm getting a bit confused because in 2016 we're also up there and we play the same courses, so some things are a bit blurred, they're a bit crossing over, so I can't remember if it was 2016 or 14, but I remember a nice group breakfast we had at Mangrove Jack's, and then Sticky, he excused himself and went into the mangroves and gave the fucking mud crabs and brim and shit a bit of burley. He was fucking chucking up from the night before, which has become classic and just standard Sticky now. And I also remember, once again, I don't know if it was 2014 or 16, a big night at Sticky's, and then with Tony and I had to walk back to his house, and armed with just the torches on our phones, we were hiking through the fucking bushes, and it was a shortcut. I'm telling you, he told me it was a shortcut, but fucking felt like Malcolm Douglas going through the fucking deep outback or something. I woke up, I had scratches and bruises and scrapes all over me bloody body. We were tripping over twigs and rocks and all sorts of shit, but quite fucking funny in the end of it. But yeah, so not sure if that's 14 or 16, but anyway, that was all I've got for you. So if there's any moments from 2014, do share. Thanks, boys.